Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Ready to Love. This is season 3, the reunion part 2. Yes, the season has finally ended. Okay, this season was a lot to say the least, or at least to say a lot. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, and all that goodness and stuff and whatnot. Do not forget to also like this video, comment in the comment section. Also, hit the little share button to share it on your social media. You can follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. The link to all of my social medias is in the description box below. Yes, it is, okay? Also, oh God, relax, relate, release, center yourself and everyone around you. And then remember to inhale and to exhale because a lot be going on or whatever. But let's move on to the people. First things first. Now we know last episode we found out that Alicia was pregnant. She's pregnant. Like sitting down, you could not tell that she was pregnant. Because I kept on thinking like, how pregnant is she? She pregnant. Okay, I would say that's at least 7 months. Okay, that's a good 7 month belly. That's not a 4 month, not even 5 months, not even a 6 month. And this is not even her fully standing up. The dress she had and the fact that her boobs are so big, it hides her belly when she's sitting down. When she stands up, she is fully pregnant. Okay, so again, a whole baby is on the way. Now, the last episode ended with us trying to figure out what's going on with who? Jay and Joy. Okay, now Jay explains, oh, we're really good friends. Okay, we're really good friends. We went out on some dates. Joy then said we went out on one date. Okay, but with everything I was going through, whatever, the relationship was put on pause. Okay, so no, we are not together. No, I'm not dating anyone else either. We are cultivating a relationship, but we are not together. I feel like all of the shit that they went through. And I'm not saying that if your sister passed away that you should be focused on a relationship, but I feel like did she watch the season and realize he's not who I thought he was. So let's maybe put a hold on that. Because I'm just like somebody don't feel completely honest. Not a lie, but I feel like something else had to have happened to make her want to just put a whole full-fledged pause on that. So I think she may realize he may not have been the one. You know what I'm saying? It was good in the house, but not so much after the fact. And I told y'all, Jay is a player. Player is what he is. And I think he showed us that, especially with all the unseen things we've seen in this reunion or whatever. Now they then get to Danny and Sam. Okay, who were two people. She was the first girl sent home. He was the first guy sent home or whatever. Now Danny was sent home because the guy said, "Oh, she's like a friend. She's like a homie friend. Like a hey homie. Like just a friend or whatever. Like I hate when people say that as if you can't be friends with someone you dating. It's just weird. You should want to be cool with them at first and then see where it goes from there or whatever. But again, she brought up I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the first step to any real relationship is that you have to be friends with your partner, okay? I'm still single. I'm gonna be single till somebody find me or whatever, but I'm good with what happened on the show. I was like, she didn't get no fair chance. Now, Sam said, he was not surprised that he was sent home either, okay, because he said, I had a whole lot going on at the time or whatever. They're like, oh, what happened with you? Sam says that he had just found out before coming on the show, he had a child on the way. He had a whole kid on the way. Tommy was like, you had a baby on, what, really? Okay, he brings up how when he found out he was already approved to be on the show, like the ball was already rolling, he could not kind of back out or whatever. I was like, I cannot, girl. This man was on this show with a whole new baby on the way. What is going on here? He brings up how this will be his third child with the third woman. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have kids and multiply. I do feel like you can't be ready to love if you want your third kid with a third woman. And I like how Tommy said, well, because Sam said he was okay going home because he had to figure things out. Whatever. He had to get his stuff in order. I like how Tommy then said, yes, because you have to father three children in three separate places. You don't even have the three kids in one house. They're not all at your house. They're not even all at their mama's house. They are at, well, no, they are at their mother's houses. Girl, you cannot be on this show if a baby's on the way. You not ready to love. You ready for a baby shower, okay, for some diapers, okay, for some formula, but not ready for love, to love that baby. Not no cooch. Okay. They then get to Raymond and Shea, who was put off. I think they lasted a couple episodes. They wasn't like the first people or whatever. Shea, look, Shea was messy. I really feel like Shea was on there because she had a break and she had no food to cook or whatever because she's a chef. And she had no food to cook or whatever. And so I need to order some from Kroger's. Girl, focus. She was on there for no reason. I feel like she did not even try to make any connections or whatever. So when she brings up how she understood the fact that she is not for everyone and everyone's not for her, so she is not surprised that she didn't mesh with any of the men while she was in the house with them or whatever. I'm like, you wasn't trying to mesh. You were trying to be messy, but you wasn't trying to mesh with anyone or whatever. Now Raymond brings up how, you know what I'm saying, he's still out here fighting against getting married because you can date someone for 10 years and that's like being married. No, people really want to treat common law marriage, which is only legal in certain states, as if it's a real thing. No, and Tommy said if you were the man for 10 years, he not gonna marry you. No, but some people do eventually get married, but I mean, it may not be worth it. Okay, it may not be worth it or whatever. Okay, anyway, he brings up though how currently he is like, he do like somebody. He's kind of dating someone a little bit or whatever. They're like, oh, okay, so you dating somebody? Yep, she's a chef. I say, wait a minute, she's a chef. He's dating Shea. Yep, Raymond, the 5 kids having, guitar playing, taking Genuine on tour, fucking groupies person is fucking Shea. I could have sworn on episode 1 or 2 when he mentioned the 5 kids and the touring with Tank and Genuine and out here, you know, spreading it low and giving it wide or whatever, that she kind of walked away like, nah. Now, all of a sudden, you want this old penis? Girl, the fuck bye. Now, she brings up how he's a grown-ass man, and she likes him or whatever, and that she's even cooked for him, and then Simone said, I was there, I saw it. Really, Simone? Anyway, so, girl, they supposed a thing, okay? Yeah. I'm not gonna say I don't believe it, but something about it was like, really? Okay. I wish them well, though, because love is love. Okay, you can't, act like love is not love or whatever. Girl, we then get to Naya and Chris. I know I just put their names at the wrong time, but Chris and Naya, whatever. So we see all the moments of Chris and Naya on the show meeting, walking in the grass, holding hands, this connection that they both were speaking about. They show Naya and her confessions. They just show her all the moments of her confessing how she has this connection. It's all this stuff about her and Chris, okay? And all of the good, we like a couple moments up until the conversation about finances and who would pay a mortgage, okay? And when that conversation came up was when Naya completely flicked her switch and became a whole different person, or became the real Naya who she had been hiding for the first few weeks of however long they had been at that point in time. So they even bring up where we see her starting to kind of dog Chris, say I don't like him or whatever. I was just, entertaining him, who likes me, whatever. I'm like, what? The fact that they like roll that beautiful beam footage and we see her, that's my man, I like him, I have never had a date so well. Like, I mean, bitch, she may be bipolar or schizophrenic or whatever, but something ain't right with her brain or whatnot, okay? Now, Chris brings up how watching the show, And, hearing her deny the chemistry, hearing her talk about him, how, she didn't like him or whatever, and then seeing her kiss Edwin all in the mouth, all tough in the mouth, whatever. Like, it was shocking. It was very, very shocking or whatever. Now, Naya tried to lie to us and confuse us and hoodwink and bamboozle us onto Plymouth Rock into thinking that, my issue was the fact that Chris went and talked to the people about the issues that we had with the conversation about the financiers. And I'm like, he was talking to people to get their perspective. Like, she make it seem as if he talked to everyone but her about something. I'm like, but y'all had talked, and then when you tried to come up to talk to you kind of made it seem as if it wasn't an issue. Naya is batshit crazy. Batshit crazy was a definition in the dictionary. It would show this picture. Okay, all up and through. It'd be her picture, it'd be Kanye West's picture, it'd be number 45's picture, it'd be a lot of batshit crazy people or whatnot, okay? Anyway, she then brings up how that since the show ended, she has also went on dates with Edwin. I don't have not a photo of Edwin this time, okay? Anyway, she brings up how, I would date Edwin or I would date Chris. I would date anybody who asked me on a date because I'm dating. I feel like she will never get married because she's consistently searching. She's not willing to shut down multiple situations to focus on one. You can't ever get married if you're consistently dating other people. We then see some unseen footage, okay, of Naya on Elimination Day or whatever. We see the whole her telling Rasheed to talk to the couch. We see her being kind of rude to the production crew or whatever. We see her saying how she got to go home to a man. She brings up how I've been ready to go home. I felt like I was in jail. You know, seeing how none of the men on the show are ready to love or date her. She then says, I never liked Edwin at all. I never liked Chris either. And he need to get some help for his feelings. Girl, she even brings up again how she has many men in her life before coming on the show that she's dating. They have potential, okay? And that none of the 10 men on the show was for her. The fact that she said all of that and she thinks, I was just talking shit on my way out. No, bitch, that's you, okay? That's you. And the fact that you were willing to talk all that shit on the way out proves that you have a chemical or mental imbalance that causes you to want to act that way. No one should want to act out of character on a national television show. Who wants to make themselves look a little bit cuckoo? A cuckoo bird, okay? Anyway, they then asked Edwin, like, well, since seeing the footage, and then you've dated her since the show, like, what do you feel? Because, again, she said that she did not like you at all. Edwin gave a whole political excuse in support of her doing that because of the mind frame that she was in at that point. Look, Edwin may like her, but Edwin need help too. If you think this is the person to back to be ready to love, no, brother, she's still broken. Don't do it to yourself or whatever, okay? Chris say how he's happy he came on the show, okay? Because he's currently not looking for someone, but he is also here to be found. Girl, look, I really feel like Chris dodged a whole bullet because before we saw the real crazy, deranged Naya, she was so amazingly sweet and grass walking and in touch with the Mother Earth or whatever, and she became a delusional jade wearing crazy lady cussing out people about how she ready to go, how she don't like nobody. Girl, I don't like it. And I'm not saying that production did not maybe twist or turn whatever thing to maybe get her sent home too soon. At the end of the day, she gave them all the ammunition to get her sent home, okay? We then get to Denise's comments about Rasheed, okay? The whole narcissistic because he's tall and light skinned and in a frat, that she literally said out her own mouth on the show. Now, she still keeps saying that I never called him a narcissist. I didn't do that. I never said that he was a narcissist based on him being light skinned, tall than the frat, even though that's exactly what the scene said, even though she's saying that she was using that as an example based on her past experiences in life. If you dated a man who happened to be tall and light skinned and in the frat, who, talked about money, whatever, and that's your connection to someone who's a narcissist, that means you crazy too, because you can't put one person who was an asshole to you in a whole box with every other tall, light skinned man in a frat. That's just dumb. That is cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Okay, now she brings up how, Rasheed kind of reminded her of her ex, and that's why the example is what she used. And Adriana kind of pointed out, but you said in the confessional, or you said in the room, those were the reasons that he was a narcissist or whatever. And she keep trying to play us for dum dums and saying, well, no, that's not what it was or whatever. And people's issue was, you need to, one, apologize to Rasheed, because again, you attached him to a characteristic that really isn't him. And I feel like the first one or two episodes, people kind of agreed with her, not knowing he was the most genuine dude on the whole show. Girl. So Rasheed brings up Rasheed brings up how, I need some water. He brings up how he's never really gotten an apology from her. Even her talking then, what she was saying wasn't even an apology. Even in the scene when she said, I apologize on behalf of Adriana for her. I'm like, bitch, what? Anyway, he said, look, I know about your past and I have empathy and sympathy for what you've been through, your past traumas and whatnot. Okay, but However, my name was connected to, being a narcissist, and that's not who I am. And even when the show airs, I'm going to have to defend myself based on what you said, okay? And that's what I don't like. And it was like she did not even understand what she did, and she kept defending it. And I'm like, because Denise is a big cuckoo, okay? Crazy, deranged person, okay? And she then said, well, I will apologize because it seemed like everybody else wants me to say sorry, okay? So if what I said made you feel away, I apologize. I'm like, what? That's not an apology. And you can't apologize just because somebody else wants you to do it. How do you not see what you did was fucked up? Roll the beautiful bean footage. You said it out your own beautiful chocolate mouth. Okay? Anyway, we then see she said, I have never treated anyone like I was better than them. Well, Adriana then says, well, I don't know about that. Okay, because you always treated me like I was less than, like you were better than me the whole time on the show. Anyway, I felt like you were attacking me, and that's why I'm like, Denise, when did Adriana attack you? Like, that's not even true what happened. And then we like, well, no, you were the one coming at me. Like, even when I came to talk to you, you had your hand in my face or whatever, and was just being a little bit extra, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But she brings up how, but in every scene, you are talking about me and how you're gonna kind of shit on me or whatever, or like I'm gonna lose to you. Okay, how would you not think that maybe this man, Calfani, is attractive? Maybe I like him too, and we are on a dating show and we both just happen to like the same man. Now, Adriana was speaking facts. However, I do feel like she went after him because she did not like Denise, because of how Denise unfairly treated her. Okay, so at the end of the day, they both played a bullshit game in some kind of way. They both lost in one way or the other or whatever. Anyway, Denise brings up how you came over to me and girl, I don't care. It's when she said that, you came over to me and checked me. You came at me forcefully, and, it's not what you do, but it's how you do it. I'm like, Denise, the way you came at everyone on this show was in a forceful way. I won't say aggressive. I'll say forceful. You came at everyone in a forceful forceful way all up and through all season, girl. Denise is crazy. Okay, she needs to talk to someone. Okay, she needs to get some help. Anyway, Tommy then asked, because they was kind of going back and forth or whatever. And so Tommy then asked if they can all kind of squash the whole thing. Rasheed said, yep, it's already squash. Denise said, yep, it's fine. Adriana was like, no, it's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just two different people, and saying we're two different women. We come from different places or whatever. Like, and we just would not be friends even in the real world. So I'm saying it's fine. Leave it there. And I like that she did not want to say, well, yeah, let's just squash it, because Denise was unfairly mean and rude to Adriana, and she was saying things consistently about her based on Adriana and Calfani, dating or whatever. But again, I do feel like Adriana wanted Calfani just because this stick. Not saying she was not attracted to him, but I think the reason she found him even more attractive was because of how much she wanted him. And at the end of the day, she feel like she won, but did she? Okay, we then get on the whole foursome of it all. Okay, because again, we have to be honest that these four at one point were each other's, number ones or whatever. Because the fact that, Rasheed and Adriana was together, Denise, so it was Denise and Calvin, it was a whole thing like that. So Rasheed brings up how he wants to make it clear, okay, that between him and Adriana, like back in the day, they both ghosted each other. Okay, it wasn't as if she ghosted him and he was also happy to see her. Now, he was like, we went on a date, it was awkward for us both. Okay, and we both ghosted each other. It wasn't just it was not a one-sided thing. He says how, as far as the show, with dating her or whatever, that he made the choice to start to pull back from her on the show when he realized how much she was feeling Calfani, and how she kind of was not reciprocating his, efforts into courting her. You know what I'm saying? So, she then brings up, she said, well, yeah, I get that, but I hadn't made a decision yet. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't over yet, and you shouldn't have pulled up back at that point. I'm like, bitch, what? The fact that she wanted the two men to chase her, and she gonna say, because at that point, even if Calfani may have been her number one week, it could switch to Rasheed. I'm looking like, that's not how it would go. And his issue wasn't even that she liked Calfani or that Calfani liked her. His issue was, Rasheed's issue was, she was actively not reciprocating anything to him for what he was putting into her. And the fact that she did not get that, to me, proves she was not ready to love. At least not ready to love Rasheed, okay? And I was like, girl, just hush. Now, he brings up how I was married for 10 years. Like, he said, outside of Tommy, I had the longest relationship on the show this season, everything. You know what I'm saying? He like, and when I am focused on someone, I am focused on them, and I was focused on you, okay? But I'm not a fool to keep doing that when you're not reciprocating it. And that was his point of trying to leave. And she asked him to stay, and then sent his ass home. Pissed me off, okay? Now, they say, why do you think it didn't work? And he had a great reason. He said, I feel like we were at different stages and ages in life, and that's why it did not work. And it's true. Okay, now even though she replied that had I picked him, he wouldn't have said that. I think if Adriana had picked Rasheed, I still think they would not be together now, because she is different in a different age and a different stage or whatever. Okay, they then get to Denise and Calfani, and she brings up how it wasn't hard for her to see him date other women. Lie as you tell. We saw the whole season how much it aggravated you whenever he was with anyone else. She would say it in the confessionals. Denise is delusional. Okay? She trying to hoodwink and bamboozle us. It won't work, okay? Now, everyone as she's talking, saying that, it didn't make me feel any kind of way. I was never jealous. I could never be jealous of you. Why would I ever be? I'm like, what? Girls, Denise, Delusions. Anyway, Kafani brings up how, every time, you gotta be real now. You can't be act like that's not true, whatever. He then said, everybody may not be able to see themselves in their full self, okay, without someone kind of sometime pointing out things they can't see. Sometimes it takes an outside person to tell you what you can't see that's going on behind you. I'll say that's true, whatever. And she then brings up how, I was defensive because people call me aggressive and, so because they call me aggressive, I put my wall up or whatever and blah, 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 blah. I feel like none of that had anything to do with how she acted on the show and how she's backpedaling and pussy popping now to make it seem as if we did not see what we saw, that we did not hear what we heard. I'm like, no. You cannot make me believe I did not see and hear shit. And again, I'm not saying producers didn't cut and edit shit, but you gave them the shit to cut and edit. Period. Okay. Anyway, they get to Calfani and Adriana, because they when they come on and left together and whatever. And he like, well, I chose her because, anything else would have been uncivilized. Looking like, oh Lord. Denise then say, well, he ain't had no choice because I left. No, you left because he made a choice to not choose you. He made a choice to possibly get with Adriana, even though she was still possibly going to go with Rasheed. You had no choice but to leave. Okay, I'm going to leave that be. He added that he clicked with Adriana the best, that there were no issues, no fussing, no jealousy, whatever. None of the things he was getting from Denise is what he got from Adriana. And we then said, okay, what happened after the show? She said, well, after the show, he called me to go out, to talk or whatever. And then he told me that his ex-girlfriend is back in town and she wants him back and he wants to work things out with his ex-girlfriend. I said, bitch, what? Bitch, what? Girl. The fact that her friend told her on the show, do not lead with lust. I see you lusting for Calfani. And she picked Calfani. Calfani picked her too. And then the days after the show, like right when they got home from the show, he told her he's going to leave her alone to get back with his ex. The reason of that is because she chose stuff with her coochie. Not her mind, okay? That was not her heart, her cooch. She chose the lustful person who looked this and that and whatever. When Rasheed would have been the better person if she was more older, if she was more mature to see what she could have had with Rasheed or whatever, okay? Now, Calfani then said, like, you left her what? How did that, like, how many days after? He, like, the day I got home from the show, my ex had left a note on my door that she wanted to get back with me. And then Adriana brings up how, he told me that the ex even had a good relationship with his kids, that he wanted to try to work things out. I was like, bitch, girl. He do time say, well, do you love the girl? He said, I'm in love. Yep, I'm in love with her. And I would marry her if I could. Like, I plan to out where I think I will marry her. And I'm like, Adriana, girl, that's why I say she thought she won, but she did not. Now, Denise giggled. She did giggle, but I'm like, Denise, don't giggle, girl, because again, he still picked Adriana, even if it was for 3 days since he got home, okay? Either way. Now, she brings up how when it happened, she did instantly think of Rasheed or whatever. I thought about him or whatever, and it made me wonder if, the moments I had with Kafani, if they were genuine moments or whatever. And I was like, oh. I mean, Calfani then, as genuine as I am, as truthful and as honest I am, you would think I was like faking. And she's like, no, I just wanted or whatever. So then Tommy then asked Rasheed like how he felt now that she's single, could it be anything between them or whatever. As he's like, I have nothing bad to say about her, about Calfani or whatever, like, seeing her on the show and how she would get so bubbly and like high school excitement about being around us, whatever. I like that. And as he's saying these positive things about her. Calfani is talking to her, and I'm like, y'all are so fucking rude. He's asking her, why would she question if they had like a genuine connection on the show or whatever? And I'm like, the fact that you're talking, I was mad at him and her because again, y'all see Rasheed talking. Why are y'all having a whole separate conversation as he's talking? You rude fuckers. Okay, Tommy said, well, she hold on one second. What is y'all talking about? Like, what's going on here? Oh, I was just asking her if she felt like, I was being fake. I'm like, who gives a fuck, Calfani? You left her for your ex-girlfriend the day or two after the show ended. Fuck you, bruh. Okay, anyway, Tommy said, well, did you hear anything that Rasheed said, Adriana? And she was like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't, bitch. Because she wasn't listening or whatever. He said, you know what? In this experience, you have to be present in the moment or you miss things. You missed that whole thing or whatever. Yes, she missed it all. I'm like, she gets on all of my damn nerve. And that was the whole thing or whatever. Okay, now the ending was, of course, Alicia and Sam both have kids on the way. David and Alex are going to go on a date. Raymond and Shea are supposed to go dating. Okay, Edwin said he and Naya will date. And she then said, well, she will also continue to date whoever she wants until she gets a ring on her finger. To me, that means you may never get one because you cannot get married if you have not stopped out here fucking with other people, okay? This dumb ditty or whatever. Jay and Joy said they would keep having this situationship, okay, and it's a possibility they may make it. We do see, like in commercial breaks or whatever, they are like walking around together, talking. So again, I don't think they're done. I do think she saw things that she did not see before that's causing her, like, you know what? Hold on, we gotta see and whatnot or whatever. Chris say he is reflecting, okay, but he is going to be sure to try to get emotionally available before he dates someone else. Denise says she's at peace and loving herself more. And when Tommy said, get well. I want you to get well. Yeah, please let her get well. Simone says she's a better dating person now since on the show. I'm looking like, are you sure? I don't know. Adriana said that she's going to take a break from dating because, there must be something she's doing wrong if she keeps ending up in the same situations because you keep choosing with your coochie. That's the issue. Your friend told you do not lead with lust. Even you said yourself you usually pick men based on how they look and you don't want to do that. You then pick the big, handsome, strong African prince who turned out to be a frog who went back to his ex-girlfriend. Okay, Rasheed said he is focused on his son and his business or whatever. And then Danny says she's going to keep looking for love. And that was the whole thing. In a nutshell, this show shows what it's like dating in 2020 and 2021. Bullshit games, and maybe one or two people connect. It is very hard dating now because so many people are full of shit. So I don't think the show was a failure because it showed what it's like to truly date. Sometimes the shit just don't work out. Anyway, I'm done. Peace.